That looks so good. Have you ever seen anything that looks like that? Hi everyone, I'm Magical with Carnivore Family. I'm 11 years old and I'm going to show you how to make what we call the Carnoli. So the next step is we're going to need some ground beef, some bacon, and then we like to use thick cut bacon, but you can use whatever kind you want. And then we're going to go ahead and add and assemble our Carnolis. So as you can see, I lined up our bacon. We're gonna get some raw ground beef and we're gonna line it up on the bacon, and it doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna roll it up afterwards. So as you can see, we're just lining it up nicely, and you can make it as thick or as thin as you want, and we're not gonna add any seasoning. You don't have to add any seasoning because the bacon is all ready, so it might be a little too salty if we added salt, and yeah. Okay, now we're gonna roll these up and put them in our tray. Okay, so now we're gonna stack these in our tray, and you don't need to worry about this because we're just gonna stack it against the end so that it doesn't fall apart, and so then you don't have to use a toothpick. So this is what it looks like all loaded on the tray. We were able to fit 25 Carnolis on it. And next step is we're gonna put it in the air fryer for 30 minutes at 400 degrees. And if you want it more cooked, you can put it for longer. And less cooked, you can put it for a bit less. So if you saw the last video on where I taught you how to make a pizza, a carnivore pizza, well, I made dipping sauce for that, and we're gonna make that exact same dipping sauce for this, and it's optional. And if you haven't seen that video, go watch it on our profile. Now, what every good cook does, they clean up their mess and put everything away. So timer's up, almost up, and then we'll take a look at them. Timer's up, now we're gonna look at them. They kind of look like cinnamon rolls. So we're gonna set these down and we're gonna let them cool because these are piping hot, and we're gonna make the dipping sauce. Okay, so now we're gonna grab some heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna get some Parmesan and some mozzarella. First, we're gonna preheat the pot. I'm putting it high. Now we're just gonna wait for it to preheat for a little bit. So first we're gonna put in the butter, and then once it melts, we're gonna put in the heavy whipping cream. So we're gonna use a silicone spatula, and I like using it better than a spoon because it stirs it better and it also scoops better than a spoon. For those people who like brown butter, you can use brown butter if you want. One time I did that and it did add like more flavor to it, and it was still really good, so either way is fine. Now we're gonna add some heavy whipping cream. So you notice basically I just eyeballed the butter, I'm just gonna eyeball the cream too. Okay, so next I'm gonna put this on low so that when we put the cheese in, it won't like burn it. And now we're gonna put the cheese in. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare by shredding the cheese. Okay, so I just shredded some cheese. This should be enough, and I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, so now we're gonna add some Parmesan. Okay, so I'm not gonna add a whole bunch because it does have a really strong taste. And I am just gonna eyeball it. And with the Parmesan, it is optional, but I added in because it makes it like have a bit of flavor like Alfredo sauce. So I'm kind of looking for it to be like not stringy, but like not too much like liquidy, basically. Because like this is a bit too liquidy. Try it though. It's not as like stringy as I wanted it to be, but I don't want to like over flavor it with like a bunch of different cheeses, because then I'm gonna have to add more and more stuff in it. And so it will just come back to looking like this, but I still think it's good. And this is my favorite part. That looks so good. Have you ever seen anything that looks like that? Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this kind of content, go follow Carnivore Family. And if this fails you and if you fail, go eat a steak.